Welcome back everyone, I hope you all doing good, having a great day. So first off, I usually try and avoid all the negative comments. I just leave them as it is. But then I thought this might be actually entertaining for you guys to see what we can do with some of these negative comments. So the other day, I switched back to Wizard and I was running it versus the Blood Knight in the dungeon to see how fast they both run. So first off, I end up doing the dungeon run here, you can see. And towards the end of the dungeon, I believe so, it took us 3 minutes 12 seconds to finish the dungeon with the wizard. We did end up running with the yellow pack, and that slowed us down by maybe 5 seconds. So they were both really close in side by side test. And after that, to try and find out how much single target they both do, I went on and tried out another test actually to fight Bill. Let me actually see if this thing loads. And yeah, they were really close in the single target as well. Like Wizard was only 3 seconds behind, and that was the test. But then something actually funny happened. If we scroll down, this person here is saying compared to your Wizard, he has 4,000 less sheet damage and he has 2,000 less combat rating, and he has 2,000 minus resonance, 200 plus armor penetration. That is how he gets the critical damage. When I was running this test, I only had like 19 or 20% armor penetration bonus, so he has more. But now I have worked on my armor penetration, increased that from the paragon now, so I am like close to 37%, 40%. Anyhow, so that is what he was saying, that he is doing better, and my builds are clunky as fuck. And yeah, he can do, but he is asking me to do better. I tried and explained that to him, or ask his build, and what he said here is that he is using electrocute for a single target scenario. So he is using electrocute, and then he is using disintegrate for a single target scenario. That is how he is getting so much damage. And then he has the arcane wind and frozen armor, and then on the top of that he is also using teleport and 6 piece of wind loft set because he has some survivability issues. And then I try and point out few things to him, that electrocute is not used for the single target scenario at all in PvE. It is used for the farm and PvP. Disintegrate again is never used for the single target scenario. Whenever you are using disintegrate, you cannot use the primary attack. And teleport is also never used in the single target scenario. It is hindering your damage skill. You can have another damage skill for a teleport. And then 6 piece wind loft, no one used that in PvE. You can get a lot more damage from 4 piece grace and 2 piece banquet. In fact, 2 piece banquet gives you 15% damage, and 2 piece grace gives you another 15% damage, compared to the wind loft that is only giving 20% damage. And on the top of that, we have that additional hit coming from the grace set. Anyhow, let's scroll down and see his reasons here. So teleport is the strongest wizard skill, hit for hit. I never knew that we have to use it for a PvE scenario. Sure, in PvP it can be good, jumping onto players, dealing damage, but in PvE scenario with a really long cooldown, I'm sure I can go with something else that can deal more damage. Maybe a Scorch with Magma that lasts for a couple of seconds, dealing 5 damage, and with a Grace set it can do additional hit damage. Quite sure I would get a lot more damage than a teleport there. And then he is saying that who is using primary? Yep, who is using primary for a damage? No one. his skills are hitting harder. Such a good explanation there. Who is using primary for the damage, guys? You just keep spamming your disintegrate because it's never needs to recharge. Alright, so he is also squishy as fuck. That is why he is using the wind. Loft, frozen heart, and spiteful blood for survivability. Wow, he needs a lot of survivability to survive there as a wizard. I'm sure you can just go with the ice armor and you would be fine. You don't need more than that. Anyhow, after that, what he did was he went on actually uploaded something, tagged me to it, telling me that these are his freaking fantastic builds that he is using, and I need to learn from these builds because my builds are clunky as fuck. And he ended up running the Inferno 1 with a team of 4, by the way. Sure, I take that. And it took him 2 minutes 50 seconds to complete this dungeon. I stopped this frame here when he killed this boss, and it took him with a team of 4 2 minutes 50 seconds to complete this dungeon. And I was like, let's switch back to wizard and use my clunky as fuck single target builds and see how fast I can run this dungeon. So I hope you guys enjoy some popcorn time. We're gonna do just that. Alright, so I'm about to start the timer. The timer I will start as soon as I took my first step, and my damage numbers are not even close to 200,000 like his wizard with a teleport. So I'm not sure how bad I'm gonna do here with my clunky as fuck builds. Solo, of course. But then again, I'm a huge whale with 3600 resonance, so a team of 4 player has like no chance on me. They are nowhere near close to my damage, and I had to talk to that NPC and move to the gate. In a team, you can just talk, someone can talk to the NPC and the other teammate can open the door. So that wasted like 3 seconds for me right there. And now we have a blue pack as well, all solo. I mean, if I had the disintegrate here, I would be dealing so much more damage.
Dead end.
I mean, who does use the continual damage, right? With a 4-piece grace, 2-piece banquet, 2-piece grace to increase the continual damage from the fire, and then add another additional hit from the grace. Who does that? You don't need that. You go with the wind loft for 20% damage, and that is going to be the way to do things. But we're moving to the other part. Again, we have a blue pack here, and I'm all solo. They have 1 million HP, but who used the primary? I mean, disintegrate would have killed them a lot faster, those blue packs with 1 million. And let's complete this part here. Gonna try and gather them up. They are range enemies, so they try and not get close. I think around 2-minute mark we are here at the boss, because I don't have a teleport, clunky as fuck bills, no mobility, just money and resonance. That's it against a team of 4 players. And let's see how long it took us. I mean, how long it will take us to kill the boss. Never mind me, I'm just trying to play and run this thing at the same time, making mistakes. I'm sure I can do a lot better here, like shave a couple of seconds. But why do I need that? I'm a big whale and my builds are so bad. So let's use the ultimate. Who used the primary anyhow, because you have disintegrate with wizard, highest damage skill. And she is about to go down. Let's go check it out, how long it took us to complete this dungeon in Inferno 1 solo versus his team of 4. Alright, so that took us 2 minutes 56 seconds to complete the Forgotten Tower Inferno 1 versus his awesome builds in a team of 4 players who took 2 minutes 50 seconds to complete the dungeon versus me versus my clunky as fuck builds solo. And yeah, now let's be a bit more serious. His builds were really bad. No one, you should not be using Windloft in PvE at all. Maybe in PvP you can go and do that, but in a PvP scenario, especially if you're running the dungeon, you should be running for p squares of the Refrigerant. There is nothing else comes closer to having 4 p squares of the Refrigerant in PvE scenario for a wizard, and you can increase the damage even more having that 2-piece banquet of ice. And to be more serious now, if you're using a teleport in PvE scenario, in dungeon you don't really need that unless you are running with a group of whales who is running really fast and you need mobility to keep up with them. But if your team damage is not all that high, you should be using a damage skill, and you should not be using a disintegrate in dungeon and raid. The reason is very simple. They have a really good burst damage, but while you are channeling your disintegrate, you cannot use your primary attack and cast other skills if they are available, and that is really bad in a single target scenario. So what builds I am running currently here is, let's go to the skills here. I am using Lightning Nova with a fire and also having more damage from the main hand. And then for my second skill, I am using a Scorch, turning that into a Magma from a headpiece. Now this works really good in a single target scenario. Also activate the Grace of the Refrigerant 4-piece really fast. Same with the Lightning Nova here, it helps you trigger 4-piece Grace of the Refrigerant. And then we are using the Arcane Torrent. This skill is a must in single target scenario in PvE dungeon and raid bosses now. And what we have here is, first off, we changing the skill from the main hand weapon so it automatically fire and hit the enemy, and then from the pens we are using the novel pens that also have the additional hit, dealing more damage. This is again really good for this single target damage. And then for the fourth skill, I am using just a meteor without modifying it and only increasing its damage by 19% for a single target scenario. And then for a magic missile, that is our primary, we have couple of modifiers here. The first one is from the offhand, giving us explosion damage whenever we crit. And since we have a lot of critical hit chance, whenever this 11,000 damage is going to crit, it will have 90% damage increase, and we will be doing a lot of critical hit damage with our primary. And on the top of that, we have another modifier from the second offhand, having 2 additional missiles, and even they can deal the critical hit damage and get the benefit from this modifier here. Even their damage will be increased, and these are currently the highest single target build. You can change the Scorch to a black hole and go with a headpiece
Legendary weapon
that devour the enemies and increase your character damage by 19% for a burst damage in a group of 4. That can work as well, but this is currently the highest single target build for a dungeon. And I'm signing off now. This video is getting longer. Hope you had fun with some popcorns and snacks, and I see you guys in the next one. Later guys.